All right, here we are. I was hoping for a day with less wind, and I was also thinking of another location, but I went hiking today with my daughter at Breakneck Mountain here in New York along the Hudson River, which is a beautiful spot and very popular with hikers. It's a little north of Cold Springs, New York, and we went hiking there, and I took the Mavic Mini with me to try out some of the quick shots. I had two fully charged batteries, and when we got to this lookout point and we're looking down on the Hudson River and Pollepel Islands there on the right hand side, I figured why not give it a try and see how far we can fly. So this hiking trip turned out into a long distance drone flight for the DJI Mavic Mini. There was quite a bit of a headwind, at least I would estimate about 10 miles an hour. We're pretty much flying straight into it here. I did turn the drone into the sports mode as it would give me a little bit more power to overcome the headwind. And you'll see throughout the flight that there are plenty of warnings warning us of strong wind conditions. I decided to not speed ramp this video and just let it play out so you kind of get a sense for how much time the flight took, how much time it took to get to the other side, and also how the battery depleted. Um, I found out that you can actually turn the map on in the lower bottom left hand corner. If you click on that little square, the map turns on, which you'll see a little later in the video. So as you can see, I still have these settings in the new DJI Fly app set at meters, but I'll convert it. A little later on in the video, around 2,700 meters, which is 1.7 miles roughly, I got the first weak signal warning to warn me about decreased Wi-Fi performance. There was another one at 2,950 miles, which is about 1.8 miles. Then a little later at about 3,000 meters, which is 1.8 miles, about 9 minutes into the flight, I got a low battery and a return home warning, even though the battery was still 60% charged. So what I did is I canceled that warning and kept on flying. Then at 3,200 meters or about 2 miles, I got another weak signal warning. And then again at 3,500 meters, which is 2.2 miles roughly, I got another weak signal warning. And at this point, I was nearing the other side of the river, so I slowly turned the gimbal down so I could see when I would actually hit the other side of the river. At that point, I kind of was determined to make it to the other side. Of course, in that map on the lower left-hand corner, you can also see when you actually get to the other side. I kind of like the visual confirmation, so I turned the gimbal down as well. And at that point, you start to notice the lag in the application as well. So you get fewer frames per second, it's laggy, so you can see when you compare the footage that was recorded on the drone versus what happens on the phone, that there's a delay in there. So at that point, the Wi-Fi signal is definitely deteriorating. I did not keep on flying all the way, but I did make it to a maximum distance of 3,854 meters when I was turning the drone around, which is roughly 2.395 miles. And at that point, I still had 45% battery left, and this is almost 9 minutes into the flight. And of course, on the way back, I was going to have a tailwind, so I wasn't too worried about the 45% battery. I was pretty sure I would easily make it back home. On the way out, flying into the wind, we averaged about 25 kilometers per hour, which is roughly 15 miles per hour. On the way back, we did an easy 45 kilometers per hour, which is about 28 miles per hour. So we were flying much, much quicker on the way back home. When we landed the drone, I had 20% battery left, which is not much, but still more than safe, I would say. And at the end of the video, when I'm spinning the drone around, you can see how it's moving around in the winds, trying to deal with the gusts. Now, of course, we're standing on somewhat of a rocky cliff, so the wind is getting pushed up against that mountain, and you can see that the drone is getting buffeted around by the wind. It's a little gusty there. So I estimate the wind was about 10 miles an hour, but either way, the drone did a great performance. I was totally blown away with how far I could actually fly. I probably could have pushed it a little further, but this was far enough to to prove a point, which is that DJI Mavic Mini is a legit drone and it's not a toy drone at all. You can totally use it the way you would expect a Mavic drone to be used. Anyway, enjoy the video. I did not speed ramp it, so it's well over 20 minutes. You can see the entire flight, and if you want to fast forward, be my guest. And we'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Just Alright, so this is crazy, guys. We flew from Breakneck Mountain to the other side of the river over Pollepel Island, which you see right here in front of us. There's an interesting story there as well. I'll link to that in the description below. But we're flying on our way back. We have 39% battery. We got close to 4 kilometers. It's amazing because we're also going up against a pretty stiff headwind. Not as crazy as in the other videos, but let's say at least 10 miles an hour. There's no white caps, but still. We're doing 46 kilometers an hour on the way back. We got a tailwind, like I said, and we're still 2.5 kilometers away from where we are right now. So we're down at 24% battery and another 200 meters left to go, and I can see it right there. This thing is sick. You can see how windy it is. Not crazy windy, but still pretty good wind. It's a beautiful scenery here. The DJI Mavic Mini is a legit drone, guys. We flew almost 4 kilometers out over the Hudson River into a pretty stiff headwind. So well done for the Mavic, and on to the next test.